My oldest sister can lift an entire bridge with one hand. Need to move? Just tell her, and she'll shift your whole house right where you need it. If it's sitting crooked, one kick from her and it's perfectly straight. My second oldest sister is on a whole other level. She can control how plants and flowers grow, and with a single wave of her hand, she can fill the sky with a shower of blossoms. Need flowers for a wedding? From then go hiring a florist with just a thought, she can create a visual spectacle that leaves everyone absolutely speechless. Then there's our aunt, who controls the weather however she pleases. When she's in a good mood, it's nothing but blue skies. When she gets mad, storm clouds roll in instantly. The entire town's weather runs on her schedule. Our cousin can change his appearance at will, young, old, male, female, tall, short, big, small, you name it. And our other cousin has superhuman hearing so sharp that she can pick up the sound of a single pin dropping across the room. We are a family of gifted people with extraordinary powers, and we live together in a magical house. Every morning, your shoes put themselves on your feet. Toss your clothes on the floor, and a basket catches them and washes them automatically. At mealtime, the dishes set themselves perfectly on the table, and the teapot brews your coffee exactly the way you like it. The staircase doubles as a slide, and the floors work like a treadmill. But me, Mirabel, I'm the only one in the family without a single drop of magic. Everyone's gifts come from Abuela's enchanted candle. When each child turns 5, the candle grants them their own unique power. When I turned 5, the magical door opened for me too. But the moment my hand touched the handle, the door vanished without a trace. And from that day on, Abuela never truly smiled at me again. I kept a positive attitude despite having no powers, that is, until the day my youngest cousin Antonio was set to receive his gift. The whole family was buzzing with excitement, each person using their abilities to get ready for the big moment. I wanted to pitch in too, but my sister Luisa laughed me off, and even Abuela told me to stay out of the way. All I wanted was to do something meaningful for this family, and being pushed aside like that stung more than I wanted to admit. The ceremony went ahead as planned. Antonio pushed open his magical door, and a flood of animals poured through. Behind it lay a wide, breathtaking forest. He had been given the gift of communicating with animals. While everyone cheered and gathered around Antonio for a family photo, not a single person noticed me standing off in the corner. I was completely invisible to them. With nowhere else to go, I slipped into the living room and sat alone with my feelings. Then, out of nowhere, a roof tile fell from above. Cracks began spreading across the floor, and the candle that powered all of our magic nearly went out. I ran to tell the family what I'd seen, but by the time everyone came out to look, the house was perfectly fine, not a crack in sight. They were furious with me. They were convinced I was lying, and my sister flat out said I was just doing it for attention. I tried to explain myself, but Abuela cut me off. She told everyone the house was unbreakable, that it was nothing more than her granddaughter playing a prank, and that nobody should take it seriously. That night, I lay in bed unable to sleep, so I headed outside to clear my head. As I passed beneath Abuela's window, I overheard her talking to herself. She already knew the house was on the verge of collapse, and when it fell, everyone's gifts would disappear along with it. My family may not have always made me feel loved, but I love them with everything I have. I couldn't let that happen. So I made up my mind to save the magical house. I went to my oldest sister Julieta for answers. She told me about our Uncle Bruno, a man who had been missing for years. He had the ability to see the future, and he had once prophesied that the house would fall. Finding him might be the key to figuring everything out. But Bruno had been gone for so long. Desperate for any lead, I snuck into his old room. I pushed through what looked like a waterfall made of sand, and on the other side was an enormous palace. I stepped inside carefully and found pieces of glowing green tile scattered across the floor. When I put them together, an image appeared, and it was me. Before I could make sense of it, the palace started crumbling around me. I grabbed the pieces and ran. Back in my room, I put the fragments together again, and it hit me. The cracks in the magical house seemed to be connected to me somehow. I was still trying to process it when my dad Felix walked in. After I told him everything, he took the pieces and told me firmly not to breathe a word to anyone. But our entire conversation had already been picked up by our cousin Dolores and her superhuman hearing, and Dolores wasn't exactly known for keeping secrets. At Isabella's engagement party, she told our cousin Camilo, who told our uncle, who told our Aunt Peppa, and just like that, the whole family knew. On top of all that, cracks started appearing under my feet. Everyone's powers began spiraling out of control, and the engagement party fell apart completely. Right then, a few mice snatched up the tile pieces and took off. I chased after them and discovered a hidden room tucked behind a painting. A cloaked figure emerged from the shadows. I ran after them and fell off a cliff. Just as I was falling, the mysterious figure reached out and caught me. It was Uncle Bruno. He had never left at all. He had been living inside the walls of the house this whole time, quietly patching up the cracks year after year. His hidden space was just one wall away from the dining room, and on his worn-down little table, he had drawn the same kind of plates the rest of the family used.
Yeah, my gift wasn't helping the family, but I love my family, you know?
In that moment, everything clicked. Bruno and I were the same. Neither of us was accepted by the family, but we had both been protecting this home in our own quiet ways all along. I asked Bruno to use his gift one more time to save the house. He said the space was too cramped, he didn't have room to work. But then Antonio appeared out of nowhere.
The rats told me everything. Don't eat those.
The mice had filled him in on everything, and he brought us back to his room. Bruno unleashed his vision, and a wild wind tore through the space. The prophecy came through loud and clear. The magical house could be saved, but only if someone hugged me. That someone turned out to be Isabella, the sister I had never gotten along with. The same sister whose engagement party I had just ruined. Getting her to voluntarily hug me felt next to impossible, but for my family, I had to try. I walked into Isabella's room ready to apologize. The second she saw me, she started using her plants to drag me back out. I was crushed. Everything I had done, every risk I had taken, had been for this family, and not one person had given me any credit for it. All of that hurt came pouring out of me at once.
Entitled princess! Selfish!
And in the middle of our fight, Isabella finally let it all out too. She didn't want to be Abuela's idea of a perfect, flawless girl. She had her own struggles. She had her own dreams she wanted to chase. We talked it out, really talked, and let go of all the resentment that had built up between us. When we finally held each other in a tight hug, the magical candle burned brighter than ever. The house was starting to heal, but at that exact moment, Abuela walked in completely unaware of what had just happened. She tore into me for ruining Isabella's engagement and corrupting her. No matter what I said, she wouldn't hear it. She put every bit of the blame squarely on my shoulders. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Every single thing I had been holding back, I finally said out loud.
No matter how hard I try, no matter how hard any of us tries, Luisa will never be strong enough. Isabella won't be perfect enough. I'll love this family. You're the one that doesn't care. You're the one breaking our home. Don't you ever! The miracle is dying because of you!
The argument between me and Abuela pushed the house past its breaking point. It began to collapse. The candle fell from its place, and the family rushed to save it, only to find their powers had all gone dark. The house used its last bit of strength to push everyone outside to safety. Everyone, except me. I climbed up to the roof. At the last second, I grabbed the candle. The house gave way completely and came crashing down toward me, but it used every last trace of magic it had left to summon furniture around me like a shield. When the dust finally settled, the candle in my hands had gone out. The magical house was nothing but rubble. Heartbroken, I ran to the river and cried for a long time. Then Abuela came and sat with me. She told me the story of her and Abuelo when they were young, how their family had been hunted down by dangerous men, and how Abuelo had stepped in front of them alone and given his life to protect her. Watching the man she loved die broke something open inside her, and her power was born from that grief. She destroyed their enemies and rebuilt a home for her children from the ground up. The magical house wasn't the candle's doing, it was hers. She had created all of it, but over the years, the fear of losing that magic had taken hold of her. She forgot why she had built the house in the first place. She pushed her family harder and harder, never stopping to consider how anyone actually felt, and that was what had brought everything crashing down. Abuela looked at me and, for the first time, truly owned her mistakes. She apologized and meant it. Now that I knew the whole story, I understood where she was coming from. I told her it was okay. Even without the magic, we still had each other. And just like that, we were okay again. Shortly after, Uncle Bruno came to bring us back. When Abuela saw her son standing there after all those years, she pulled him into a hug and wouldn't let go. The family decided to rebuild together. The whole village showed up to help. Before long, a brand new house stood in its place. The moment I put the doorknob on, something incredible happened. The magical house came back to life, and every single family member got their gift back. It turned out my gift had been the same as Abuela's all along, the power to create the magical house itself. And now, with that gift fully mine, I get to start fresh with the people I love most. A new chapter, a new home, and a whole lot of magic to go around.